Previously on Cirque Stories, a couple of the kids who perform in the Beatles' Love shared how they managed their lives as children and as Cirque du Soleil performers. If you missed last week's episode, click the link in the description below. But don't go anywhere, because a new episode of Cirque Stories is about to begin. Commitment, passion, performance, countless hours of training. These are just a few of the things our dreams are made of. We are Cirque du Soleil artists, and we all have a story to tell. Behind the scenes, behind the makeup and all the costumes, this is unfiltered, raw, like you've never seen before. Welcome to Cirque Stories. Hi, I'm Christina Jones, and I'm your host for Cirque Stories. Joyful, mischievous, witty, and quick. These are just a few of the countless words that describe Brian Dewhurst. We had the honor of visiting Bryan at his beautiful cabin just outside of Las Vegas. After insisting on serving us a delicious lunch, I had a chance to sit down with and interview Bryan. This is his story. So thank you so much for having us at your beautiful home.
No, it's a pleasure to have you. Nice to have visitors.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's lovely to be here, and we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to share your stories with us.
Yes, I am so busy, I must say.
How many shows a week do you do?
I do 8 shows a week. They very kindly let me have a 3-day week every week.
Nice.
It's due to my great age, I think.
And I understand you just had a really big birthday, correct?
Yeah, my 85th birthday. I come off stage and they say, Nadia Comaneci is in the green room and would like to have a word with you. And so I go up in the green room, and of course everybody is there, and it's another shock, and I'm speechless.
So I guess it's safe to say that you hold the title for oldest Cirque performer? I
think so. There's not many of us around.
So why do you keep doing it?
It's my love. It's what I've done all my life, and I love getting applause. I love getting laughs, and I love seeing people laugh. It's fun. I mean, you know what it's like. Sometimes you go, I've got to go to work tonight. I enter the show from the back of the audience, and it's like a magical moment. You know, I feel, oh God, here we go again. Open the door, and I'm stepping like Alice through the looking glass into this, my world, which is what I've known since I was 13.
So what are some of the acts that you've done? You mentioned tightrope.
I did a stilt walking act with my family. That was the first thing I did. After that, we went to Sweden, and we spent a year in Sweden. And there it was with a 3-ring circus, and I did a wire walking act. After that, we went to Africa for a year, and we spent a year living on a train. And we'd be driving through, and you would see giraffe and antelope, and going there was having come from England where there was rationing, and there was so much plentiful fruit, and you can have an orange. You can have oranges and bananas and things like that, which were so difficult to come by in those.
So throughout your years of performing, I imagine you've met some pretty interesting or famous people.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I mean, of course, when you're with Cirque, you meet a lot of people. You know, presidents come to see the show, and film stars. And probably one of the most exciting moments was I was working with a circus called Circus Community in Switzerland. And one night the boss of the circus said, Brian, what are you doing after the show? And I said, nothing, we're just going to... I had my daughter then, Sally. She was 2 years old. So I said, no, we're just going to put Sally to bed. And he said, well, come over to the trailer afterwards, because we'd like you to meet some people. So we go over to the trailer after... And we go inside, and inside the trailer is Charlie Chaplin, and I still have a photo of that. What many people don't know is that Bryan has a deep history with Cirque du Soleil. When he was directing a circus in London, his daughter wrote a letter to Cirque's founders, Guy Laliberté and Gilles Saint-Croix, and invited them to watch the Dewhurst performance in London. anyhow, they came over to London and came to see the show, and then they came back to see the show, and then they came back to see the show. And I think for 3 or 4 nights they came every night, and then eventually they said, we're doing some workshops in Montreal, would you and your family come over? 3 of us came over and did some workshops in Montreal, and then they said, would you like to join us? In the 3 shows that I was artistic director in, which was Mystère, Saltimbanco in Europe, and I loved the initial excitement of it, but then the real nitty-gritties of it I didn't enjoy.
After being an artistic director, the clown spot at Mystère opened up, and he offered to try the role for 3 months and see if it was a good fit. That was 17 years ago. And I understand that your current role is rather unpredictable because it relies on audience interaction.
Yeah, I mean, we have some funny moments. The animation is fun. I mean, sometimes you get people who are cooperative, and I've had a couple of times when people have said, well, oh, you stupid fool, following me, making me follow you. Oh, sorry.
They actually get mad at you.
Yeah. So I would think that's happened. The 17 year, maybe 2 or 3 times. But you learn to take the people that are not going to be troublesome.
So you're studying them from the moment they walk into the theater.
From everyone.
And if you had any advice to give to the next generation of Cirque performers, what would it be?
I would just say, enjoy it and enjoy the moments, and find something you want to do. Find something, if you don't like show business, then get out of it. But if you like show business, find something in it that you're going to do and enjoy for the rest of your life, till you're 85 or 86 or 87.
Do you know how much longer you're going to perform?
Till I can't.
So if you had no worries, no problems, all the money in the world, no responsibilities, what would you do?
It's difficult. I don't have that many desires, actually. I'm very happy. I would spend as much time as I could with my family.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing all of this with us.
Not at all. It's been a pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
And I wish you all the success with the series.
Thank you. Bryan's family legacy is rich in circus history. From his father, who also performed well into his 80s, to his children, Sally and Nikki, who still performs with Zumanity. Sitting down and chatting with Bryan is like opening a book of Cirque history. As artists, all of us continue to be profoundly inspired by Bryan's quality of performance and his love for his craft. Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for this episode of Cirque Stories, but I'd love to hear from you. Which artist would you like me to interview next? And remember, you can always catch me on the O stage at the Bellagio on the Las Vegas Strip. And you can click on the link to buy tickets. Also, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss the next episode of Cirque Stories. Believe me, you're not going to want to miss this one. Also, you can always look below for more information and links. See you next time.